Hello, everybody, and welcome to your Saturday evening installment of SPTV live from London. I am your host for the evening, and my name is Apostate Alex, and today we are going to celebrate because we hit a massive milestone. And I firstly wanted to say a huge thank you to every single one of you for helping make this happen. We today hit 10,000 subscribers, which is just mind blowing to me. If I'm completely honest, I started this channel about 8 months ago, and I never in a million years expected to hit 10,000 subscribers in less than a year. This is insane. My mind is blown. Thank you. Of course, the big push has been because of my IAS protest that I'm hosting on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th of November. We'll talk about that more in a little bit. But the reason we were pushing to get to 10,000 was because it gives me the option in YouTube to run a fundraiser. And so therefore I should be able to raise money for the Aftermath Foundation by streaming the protests outside St. Hill Manor, Scientology's headquarters in the UK. So I have now reached that goal. So hopefully in the next couple of days, YouTube will enable the YouTube Giving fundraiser function, and we can set that up in motion. So thank you so much for all of your support and helping me get to this goal. I thought I wanted to spend this stream doing a bit of reflection. I wanted to look at what's next. I want to take some of your questions. I'm going to do a giveaway. I'm going to give you a little bit of a teaser of what I'm working on and what's coming up. There's a little bit of a surprise announcement in there as well. But first, I thought I would show you some screenshots of what I thought L. Ron Hubbard would be looking like if he was still alive today, knowing that a former member from the London org, the former director of public book sales, got to this point where I now have 5 subscribers for every single Scientologist that exists in the United Kingdom. So for every one of them, there's 5 of you. And this is what I think L. Ron Hubbard is going to be looking like in the space heaven or whatever it is he is in. I think he's probably looking a little bit like this. I think he's also looking a little bit like this. I also think there's a bit of this going on, which I personally think is one of my favorites. I also think there's going to be a little bit of this. And a little bit of this. These are screenshots from an interview that L. Ron Hubbard did many years ago that I think perfectly depict his reaction to me hitting 10,000 subscribers. So I just thought that was a little bit of fun to share with you guys. Before we get cracking on this video, I wanted to do a little bit of reflection. So let's look back at the last 8 months. I started this channel in February 2023. We're now in October. When I started, I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't know why I was starting a YouTube channel. I didn't know where I was going to go with it. I just felt like it was the right thing to do. My journey out of Scientology began really only about a year ago. I was kicked out of Scientology in 2014. And then I still considered myself a Scientologist and was studying from home and doing courses and such until about 2016. I was still in touch with people in the org right up until November of last year. So I was still it was still in my mind, it still affected me. And I reached out to Chris Shelton almost exactly a year ago and just said to him, I want to speak to another former member, someone who's been through a similar experience. And he very, very kindly gave me an hour and a half of his time. It was really, really beneficial to talk stuff through. I then went and spoke to him again a week or so later after I'd reflected and thought about it. And then in December, I reached out to him and said I'd like to do a video with him to tell my story. So my journey of recovery kind of really started then. I did an interview with him where I told my story from start to finish. And then it was in February that I decided, you know what, I'm going to start a channel and start talking about my experiences and giving other people a platform to do the same. That's all I had in my mind. I didn't know anything else about why I was doing this, how important it was to me. And that has all come over the last 8 months. I am going to be doing an interview with Chris Shelton again in a few weeks to mark that anniversary. So please do keep your eyes on his channel. We're going to try and time it so that a year later, we're going to do a reflection and a look back on what's happened, how my mindset has changed, how I think about things, my recovery, because a lot has happened in the last year. So do keep your eyes out for that. There's been some milestone interviews in the last 8 months. You know, Chris Shelton. I met up with Andrew Gold in person on his first ever day using a real studio in London. And that was a huge interview for me. Obviously, I appeared on Aaron Smith Levin's channel, Growing Up in Scientology. I appeared on Cults to Consciousness to tell my story there with Shirley Sansola. And these were all landmark milestone interviews for me because it allowed me to share my story, talk to different people about it, and also obviously spread awareness of the channel. I also have launched a website, Scientology Business, only 2 months ago in August of 2023, where I started talking about Scientology's UK, European, and Commonwealth activities, its business operations, its money, its lawsuits, all this sort of stuff. And when I first started my channel, I never in a million years thought that that's where I would go and what I would find an interest in. So that is something that's fairly recent that is definitely taking up a lot of my time, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So I have really enjoyed this process to get to where we are today. And I think one of the key things that really stands out for me as an indicator of this journey that I've been on, thanks to you guys and your support, is John Sweeney. For those of you who don't know, John Sweeney is a BBC Panorama documentary maker, presenter, journalist, and he created the BBC Panorama documentary that was so famous many years ago about Scientology. And it was a huge part of me and my early days and my start of the journey in Scientology. And when I was in Scientology, he was public enemy number one. I remember I offered him a stress test on the streets of London once before realizing who it was, and we had to run away. We were scared. He was literally my arch enemy, and he was the enemy of anyone that was in Scientology. And over the last 8 months, I have become friends with John Sweeney. We've been for dinner, we've been for drinks, and we are quite close now. And I think that is such a key example of how I've gone on this journey from someone who was once my enemy to now being a good friend. And I am working on something with John at the moment that I'm hoping to bring you guys soon. He is covering the war in Ukraine at the moment, so his time in London is limited. So we're going to try and put something together. That's something to look forward to. But I think it just shows that journey I've been on in 8 months has been insane. I want to just shout out a couple of you guys in the comments. It's you that has allowed this to happen, and it's you that have contributed to this growth. And you know, I can't thank you guys enough. I am thoroughly enjoying this. I feel like I've found a new sense of purpose in my life. I feel like I know what I'm doing now. There's a sense of community that I never expected to find that I found here on YouTube. People have been telling me for years to start a YouTube channel, not about Scientology, but just in general. And I've been putting it off, thinking I don't really have that much to say. I don't have that many important things to talk about. Who would care? Who would be interested in what I've got to say? And I feel like I've really found my niche here. I found this community I feel like I belong in. I feel like I found a sense of purpose and meaning, being able to help people. And these are the sort of feelings and emotions and journey that I've been on that I really am looking forward to talking about in more depth in my interview with Chris Shelton very soon. So I won't delve into it far too much here. But that's just the journey that I've been on. And obviously I wanted to shout you guys out. So look, Peace Dog, congratulations on 10k, Alex. I knew you'd get there. Thank you so much. Sandy McHugh, woohoo. So looking forward to the live stream, Aftermath Foundation fundraising and the IASP event. Me too. I can't wait. PTS for life, Jeff Beaumont. Woohoo, congrats, buddy. Thank you so much. And obviously Matthew Pritchard. What a legend. He's just become a YouTube member. Thank you, Matt, for doing that and joining the ranks of membership. I will be starring comments as we go through, and I'll answer them as we go, and also some at the end. So, Steve, thank you for your super chat. I'll bring that up shortly. I wanted to firstly just look at, let's look forward for a little bit, and let's look at what we've got coming up on the channel and how my channel has evolved and how it's going to continue evolving over the next few months. So next week, in the immediate future, Wednesday the 18th is the Anti-Slavery Day. I don't know if it's internationally or whether it's just the UK, but Wednesday is Anti-Slavery Day, and I wanted to do something to mark that. So keep your eyes peeled on my channel on Wednesday next week. I'm going to be doing something because Scientology goes hand in hand with modern day slavery. There are a lot of similarities. There are a lot of stories of people who have been trapped in Scientology, who aren't allowed to leave or escape, that have to work for free for many hours every week. So it's a real example of real life modern day slavery. And I wanted to mark the special occasion on Wednesday. So that's coming up in the immediate future. On the 3rd of November, as you guys know, we have the IAS protest. Scientology are holding what they are calling the greatest gathering of Scientologists on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th of November here in the UK. I'm organising a protest, which, by the looks of things, based on the registrations we've received for people wanting to attend, will be the largest Scientology demonstration or protest in the United Kingdom for at least 15 years since the anonymous movement. It's getting to be quite a large movement, and I can't thank you guys enough for showing your support. There's going to be a load of us there. There's going to be a lot of eyes on us, a lot of attention. I'm currently waiting to hear back from the council regarding road closures because I would like to do a march, and I've obviously notified the police of the protest. So there's lots of stuff in the works there at the moment. I'll keep you updated. I've been harping on about it a lot, so sorry to say it again, but if you want to support the protest online, I will be streaming it live. And now I've hit the 10k mark. I hope that does mean YouTube will let me do a fundraiser for the Aftermath Foundation, which helps people escape and leave Scientology. So you guys have enabled me to do that, and I'm really looking forward to hosting that and seeing how much money we can raise to help people get out of Scientology. Obviously, there's the Chris Shelton anniversary video coming up. That will be end of November, beginning of December. And in terms of the channel itself, as I said when I first started, I didn't know what I was doing. I knew that I needed to create content and talk about my experience. And I knew that I wanted to give other people the opportunity to talk about their experiences. But I didn't really know what the purpose was. I didn't know why I was doing it. I didn't have a goal to take down the church. And the process of who I've targeted my videos to has changed massively since I first started. I was very careful with the videos I made at the beginning because I really wanted to appeal to people currently in Scientology and people maybe starting that recovery journey, and was very, very careful not to ever attack Scientology, but to be really logical and to be really fair and to present arguments and debates rather than creating attack videos. And I still hold that true to myself today and what I'm doing. I don't think I will ever create harsh attacking videos about Scientology or Scientologists, but I've gone on this journey where I am now more open about what is going on in the church, and I think my content is there to educate others and to spread awareness of what's going on, as well as the occasional video that is specifically directed to people who are currently under the radar. And it's just interesting to see how that's changed over time. But there's going to be more of that, and I also want to expand what I'm doing on my channel. So you, over the next few months, will see a little bit of a change on my channel. You've probably noticed it start to happen already. I interviewed Sarah Edmondson from Nexium, which is a Keith Raniere's cult that she was the head of sales for in Vancouver. I interviewed her with Ash from the That's So Fucked Up podcast. That was really exciting, and that marked the start for me of a journey into speaking to more people from different walks of life. I want to interview people from MLM groups. I want to speak to different cults. I want to speak to yoga cult groups and people who have left and survivors. But what really interests me, and this links back to why I joined Scientology in the first place, is the people and how they think and why they think that way. I'm really interested in learning about how people think and hearing people's stories and experiences and trying to understand different perceptions and the way people perceive things in life. And so I want to be doing more of that, and I'm not going to limit myself to just cults or religious groups or coercive groups. I want to just speak to different people with different experiences. So you will see over the next few months and years, obviously, my channel is going to grow and expand, and it's not just going to be Scientology content. Obviously, I'm not going to suddenly stop, and that is definitely still my aim and my focus, but I will start to introduce new stories and new sort of experiences and topics onto the channel, and I think that's only an exciting and good thing that we can be looking at. In terms of Scientology business, the website I mentioned that I launched in August, that is going to be growing and evolving and is going to remain a key focus for me over the next few months. Now, I don't talk much about my life outside of Scientology in this channel, and that's something I want to change and talk more about in the future. For those of you who don't know, I work in marketing. I had a little bit of a career in journalism, working in the fashion industry, and then in architecture and design. And I did have a stint working for some really top fashion magazines here in the UK. So I have a lot of experience. I actually started my own magazine that very quickly became one of the leading men's fashion magazines online several years ago, just after I left Scientology, actually, when I was very young. And it ended up being a really great experience. And it was a huge win of mine, to use a Scientology term. I had a team of writers here in London and in Paris, and it was really good fun. I really enjoyed it. And I moved away from that in life, and I just suddenly thought, with the Scientology business website, this is what I do. This is what I know how to do, and I've done it before. So I really want to evolve the Scientology business website from being a blog to being a media platform. I want it to be a platform for people to write about different things to do with Scientology, their operations, and become a real news outlet for this topic. So you've already seen, I've mentioned it before, that Scientology business has become Google verified as a news source, and it's going to continue exposing different activities that Scientology are engaging with in the UK, Europe, and Commonwealth. So that's going to grow and develop, and that's going to be a real focus of mine too. There are also some really key, huge projects that I'm working on behind the scenes. I can't quite share with you yet, but I really do feel excited about these projects, and I can't wait to share more with you. One of them, I am going to give you a bit of a teaser today. Now, I have shared a bit of this news previously, several months ago. I teased that I was writing something. A few days later, it was released on Tony Ortega's blog. I started writing my story. The original plan was to do a 3 or a 6-part article series on Tony's blog, talking about my experience and my journey. And that has now evolved after meeting John Sweeney and speaking to many other people. And I'm excited to share with you that I am working on writing a book, and it is going to be a lengthy process. I've started that process already, and I will keep you updated as that progresses. It's going to take several months. It's not going to be launching or published or anything anytime soon. However, I wanted to share a little bit of this with you today as a little teaser and as a little thank you for helping me get to 10,000 subscribers. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to read the introduction to the book, and I'm going to read the synopsis. This is actually the pitch that I wrote to the publisher that explains what the book is going to be about and how I'm going to end the book in the hope that it drums up some sort of support and interest. So I'm going to read that out to you now. It's only a page, it's not very long. So here we go. You can't leave the room until you've written down everything you've done wrong. Have you ever masturbated? I was asked. Write down every instance you've done this in as much detail as you can. When? Where? How many times? Did you watch porn? What type? How long for? These were my last few moments in Scientology, and the last time I'd set foot in a church as a Scientologist in good standing. At the age of 19, I was declared a potential trouble source and dismissed from my post as Director of Public Book Sales at the Church of Scientology in London. Escorted to my desk and then the door, I was heartbroken. Everything I believed in and everyone I'd spent countless hours with, day in, day out over the preceding months, gone. I was as dedicated as they come, ready to clear the planet and spend my life making the world a better place. And now, as I head to the door one final time, I can't help but think, this just isn't right. My name is Alexander Barnes Ross, and I signed a 1 billion year contract dedicating my life and all future lives to a child trafficking, money laundering cult. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a synopsis to give you a bit of an introduction to what I'm going to talk about in the book. When I joined Scientology, I was a teenager looking for the answers to life's big questions. Why are we here? What's my purpose? And for a while, I had the answers. Over the course of several years, I was expelled from the church, rejoined, and then finally kicked out again. But even that wasn't enough to put me off. In this book, I plan to document my journey in and out of Scientology, exploring what was going on inside my head throughout the process. No one joins a cult, they say. Well, I did. And I'd like to take the reader on a journey of how Scientology used lies and manipulation to convert a critic into a dedicated follower, how they attempted to split my family apart, had me on a plan to traffic me as a child from London to their Florida headquarters, and now I'm speaking out, how they try to intimidate and harass me into silence. I now share my stories and interview other former members on YouTube, where my channel is growing rapidly, having just today hit 10,000 subscribers, only 8 months after launching. John Sweeney once said to me I should conclude my story with a firm statement, and now I'm going to get on with my life. He reminded me Scientology has already occupied too many years of your life, even more so the very best years of your life. As much as it would be beautifully cathartic to end my Scientology story here and put this whole thing to bed in my mind, the voices in my head that once sided with the devil are not going away. Replaced, another sentiment now dominates my thinking. I helped people get into Scientology. Now I want to help them get out. So that is the teaser. That is the book that I am writing, and that is probably going to be the last that you hear from me on this topic until it's ready to go. So I just wanted to tease you with that and let you know it's something I'm working on, and I'm so excited to share it with you. And please do let me know what you think. I'm always open to feedback. I want to hear what you guys think, positive and negative, whether you think it's a good idea, whether it's a bad idea, what you like, what you don't like about it, and also things you want me to cover. Like, what do you want me to talk about? What have I not talked about on my channel that you want to hear about my personal story? And look, these are things that I might, make videos on, or I might save it for the book. But I want this book to really be interesting and powerful, and not just a memoir about here, this is my story, but also really exploring how it works in the mind and how this process happened for me. So let me know what you think in the comments, in the live chat, and in the comments down below after the video stream. I want to involve you guys in this. Now, it's time for a giveaway. Before I jump into answering some of your questions, I've been starring them as we go along. So, if you want to win a piece of merch from my website, you are going to have to do something for me. Now, I'm going to give away one of anything on my merch store to any of you, wherever you are in the world. I'm going to share my screen so you can see the sort of merch that I've got. Apostatealex.com is my merch store. We have t-shirts. This one here, Cult Suck. That's quite a fun one. We've got the IASP, the International Association of Suppressive People. We've got United Against Scientology t-shirts and hoodies. We've got Cult Suck merch. We've got Not Today Thayton. We've got SPTV mugs and stickers. We've got Apostate Alex merch, t-shirts, hoodies, all sorts. We've got Duke of Chug merch, which I think is quite fun. There is loads of stuff on here, and you can choose whatever you want if you want to take part. Now, the way it's going to work is I'm going to use this giveaway tool that StreamYard have created. So you have to type in the next few seconds in the chat, light it up, the text SP Power. Now that needs to be a space. I'm going to share the screen. So if you want to be in for a chance of winning some merch from my store, please type in SP Power into the chat right now, and you will automatically be captured by StreamYard and entered into the draw. And then we will click draw, and it'll pick someone at random. So that's the trick. There you go. You're coming in. Just so you know, entering the same word multiple times doesn't enter you multiple times into draw. You only get one entry. So just type it into the chat once and you'll be entered in automatically. Now you can get one of anything in my store. If you win, what you have to do is email me just saying, hi, I'm the winner, and I will send you a link to go and redeem whatever it is that you want. Okay, guys, so let's do this draw. I'm going to click it, and it's going to pick someone at random. So, StreamYard, give it to us. Who is the winner of merch from my store? It is Jane Post. Hey, you have won a piece of merch of your choosing from my store. Well done. So if you want to email me, hello@apostatealex.com is my email address. Just email me saying, hey, I've won the merch giveaway, and let me know what it is you want, and I will generate a link and send it to you. You don't need to send me your address or anything like that. Just tell me what it is you want from the merch store, and I'll send that link to you, and you can go and redeem it. So congratulations. Okay, so we're going to do Q&A now. I also want to throw it in there that I really want to drive community engagement here on my channel. So I was thinking, how can I get you guys more involved in the channel? How can we do more stuff together? So I have a few ideas, and I want you to give me your ideas. So please put in not the live chat, wait till the video's over and do it in the main chat down there. The main comment, sorry, underneath the video. What you want to see from me, what you want me to do differently, more of, less of, how I can involve you guys. I had a few ideas. For example, you can support the channel with memberships, which are very cheap. I think the cheapest one is like $1 or something, and then there's like a $5 one. It's just a way of supporting the channel. And if you're a member, you get these really cool like emojis, SPTV emojis and stuff that I create in the live chat. And you also get access to recorded interviews that I upload slightly earlier than they go to public viewing. I don't do exclusive content. I don't like the idea of excluding people. That's why I've got the lowest tier of like $1 as well. So I want to make sure my content is always inclusive. But I was thinking, what can I do to make it more special and more fun and more worth it, and show you guys that it's worth supporting, and say thank you to those of you who do support the channel. So I thought, why don't we do something like maybe a monthly channel member Zoom call or something, you know, where you guys can have one-on-one time with me, ask me questions, and we can have a bit of conversation. I don't know, just some ideas how we can get you guys involved a little bit more. So let me know what you think. I'm going to get through some of these questions now. PTS for life, Jeff. Question: if I reach 10,000 subs, will I become as handsome as you? Well, Jeff, Thank you. The bromance is real. And I have to find out. Let's help get Jeff to 10K. That would be great. Steve Jackson, thank you for the super chat. What do you think the fallout would be if Miscavige went to the upcoming event and the tent was not filled to capacity, as far as punishment, if any? That is a really, really good question. See, I don't know because I don't know David Miscavige personally. I never worked with him directly. He was aware of what I was doing. I did an interview with Rachel Hastings the other day. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. She was in the film department, Golden Era Productions, and she was telling me how David Miscavige directly ordered the film crew to go and capture me and what I was doing in London, all selling books because it was so important and so great. My stats were in power, for example, which means I was selling a lot of books. So he was aware of me. I was aware of him, but didn't know him. So I can't really speak to how he will react other than off the basis of what other people have said, how he is and how he acts around other people. So I would imagine he would be very, very angry. He wouldn't be happy about it. And I'm sure people would be thrown in the hole or given some sort of punishment. But it's hard to tell because Dave Miscavige isn't going to be standing there counting them. He's just going to get a general feel whether the tent is filled up or not. And even if the tent capacity is 5,000 and they only have 4,000 people there, it's still going to feel pretty packed and pretty full of Scientologists. I don't think it's going to be an empty event. This is the first large international event that David Miscavige and Scientology have held in years, and it is huge. All of the hotels and Airbnbs in and around East Grinstead, which is where the headquarters is located in the UK, are completely booked out. There is nowhere to stay. It is the largest event in Sussex that weekend. So it's going to be a busy event. I think the likelihood of it not being pretty busy is very, very low. Now, whether they'll actually sell out, I don't know, and only time will tell. But Steve, great question. Thank you. SP Thompson, thank you for joining the channel membership. Welcome. You are officially PTS, which means potential trouble source. Lisa Gillespie, thank you for the super chat. Alex, you are such a powerful voice. So stoked for your protest. Offering a huge auction item to raise funds for the Aftermath Foundation November 5th. How exciting. So yeah, for you guys that don't know, I'm doing the fundraiser for the live stream on the 3rd of November, which is the first day of the event on the weekend. And Mark and Claire Headley and the other larger channels on SPTV are organizing a fundraiser also for the Aftermath Foundation. I think it's on the 4th or the 5th, I can't remember, which is over the weekend. So there's lots of stuff going on, and hopefully I can be a part of that. I know they have talked about it in the live stream, and we can get something together. It'll be awesome to raise some money, and I'm excited to hear what your auction item is that you're offering. So yeah, thank you, Lisa, for that. And thank you for the second super chat. By the way, congrats on 10,000. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I couldn't do it without you guys. So I appreciate that. Peace and love. Member for 4 months. Thanks. Congratulations, Alex. I really, honestly, I can't say it enough. I really appreciate all of your support. This one just come straight through. Juliana Bittencourt, Scientologist. Congrats on 10K, Alex. You deserve it. Thank you so much, Juliana. It's people like you, the never-ins and the regular viewers and the regular commenters that really do help the channel grow and succeed and help me do what I do. And it's, it is, I say it all the time, but the algorithm does really work on likes, shares, comments, subscribes, because the more people engage in the video, the more YouTube thinks it's therefore a video people are interested in. And so it pushes it out to more people. So the more engagement there is, the more my videos reach a greater audience. And so I really appreciate all of that. And I couldn't do it without you. So thank you. And the support of the never-ins. I just love that this phenomenon has created a whole separate subcategory of channels of people who've never been in Scientology, but are still interested in it and affected by it and want to create their own content. And I think, look, the more people we have speaking about this, the better, and the more people it will reach. So look, thank you so much to all of you guys. Okay, Miss Lester, amazing. Your efforts are going to help so many members, Sea Org members, escape COS through the Aftermath Foundation fundraiser and awareness through the protests. I hope so. That's the goal. I'm never one to convince someone to leave Scientology. I've had so many people message me under the radar, insiders, people who are on the fence. And my goal is never to get them on my channel, interview them, or expose their story, or convince them to leave. I'm here to really speak to these people and help them in any way that I can, first and foremost. If people want to share their story, fantastic, that's great. And I think that's a really good way for someone to be able to help other people. But that's not my priority. My priority is helping these people. So yeah, the more people that we speak to, the better. And the more people speaking out, the more it reaches that audience. Mark Fisher is in the house. Hi, Mark. Hope you're well. Thank you for joining. I'm here to celebrate all things Alex. Thank you, Mark. Guys, for those of you who don't know, last night I joined Mark Fisher, Janice Gillen Grady, and Robin Scott on their channel. It was a live stream. It was a fascinating debate on Scientology, its impact on people and their minds. So I will be uploading that to my channel probably later today. But if in the meantime you want to go and watch it, go and check out our Scientology stories, Peeling the Onion, which is Mark and Janice's channel. It was a really good intellectual debate. It was great. Martin Padfield's here. Well done, Alex. Thanks, Martin. See, it's people like Martin that really helped me with my channel, and he's someone that has spoken out publicly previously, but isn't a part of the SPTV YouTube phenomenon. But it's people like this that really help and support me in what I'm doing and everyone else that's on SPTV. And so I just want to give credit to those guys as well, because I think a lot of people think that what they see on YouTube is 100% of what we're doing. I always say 90% of what SPTV is about happens behind the scenes. I'm working on this pretty much full time at the moment, and I might be doing on occasion 3 videos in a day, but that's 3 hours or something of my time. The rest of my day is spent organizing stuff, talking to people, arranging interviews, helping people, working on different secret projects. And it's people like Martin that help behind the scenes, that don't get enough credit sometimes. So Martin, it was great to talk to you on my channel those twice I think you've been on, and I'd love to have you on again, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on the IS protest in a couple of weeks. Okie dokie, let's crack on with some of these. Cat Woods, what's the link for Alex's first interview with Chris Shelton? I tried searching Chris's channel but only got one from a month ago, not a year ago. Cat, that is a very good point. I know it is linked on my channel somewhere. Let's find it. I don't think it has the name Apostate Alex because I didn't launch my channel then. It's Sensibly Speaking podcast episode 364, and it's called Fear and Loathing in Scientology London. Here is the link. If you want to go and watch it, it's great. And also it's interesting. I watched it back the other day. It's interesting how the way I talk about things has changed. Like if I did exactly the same interview, exactly the same questions, telling the exact same story now, I would tell it in a very different way. And I find that really interesting to see that journey I've been on. So if you want to look at that as well, that's the first ever YouTube video I ever did with anyone talking about my Scientology experience. It's actually the first time I'd ever told my Scientology journey from start to finish ever to anybody. So it's really interesting to see how that's changed. So go and check it out. But also do bear in mind that my opinions or thoughts might have changed over time and may not reflect how I think now. I don't think there's anything that I disagree with now that I said back then, but just throwing it out there. And I'm looking forward to doing a look back in a couple of weeks. Lisa Gillespie, thank you for the super chat. $20. Wow, that's very kind and generous of you. I'm an Airbnb super host offering a fabulous weekend on the Potomac River in a luxury bungalow. Whoever offers the biggest donation gets the weekend experience. Former chef includes brunch for up to 4 people, Southern Maryland. Lisa, that's amazing. That's a really kind offer. Please email me hello@apostatealex.com. We can work out the details. This is a bit last minute. It sounds awesome. I'm guessing you mean biggest donation to the Aftermath Foundation for the fundraiser we're doing for the IES event. I'm guessing that's what you mean. But very kind of you to offer that. I'm sure we can make it work. So email me, please, and we'll sort out the details and figure that out. Barb tries question: what is your reaction to Robin Scott saying that all the people still in the cult, it's their own fault? I found that really off-putting, judgmental, and superior. That is a really good question, and I'm really excited to speak to Robin more in an upcoming video. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Robin is an interesting one. He's a good chap. We got on really well. We had a really interesting debate, and it was fascinating. And I think that it people who have gone through a Scientology experience and still hold on to some of their beliefs are completely fine. You're entitled to believe whatever you want. I don't judge anyone who still holds on to some or all of the LRH tech. That's your choice. That's your right. What I have a problem with is when it affects people in a negative way, when it harms people, when it damages people, is manipulating people and coercing people. And what Robin has done is kind of found his own way of interpreting L. Ron Hubbard tech and keeping the bits that he agrees with and he likes and getting rid of the other bits, which is not Scientology in and of itself, because in Scientology, the policy is you do it exactly as L. Ron Hubbard wrote it. You don't change it, and that's it. You take it 100% as it is, or you don't. So he's, by definition, what is called a squirrel, which means someone who takes the tech and interprets it, changes it, and makes it their own. And I personally think that is a better place to be in than having it as a totalitarian extremist belief system that it currently is. So I think what Robin has done is great, because that is actually thinking for yourself and interpreting it and questioning it and thinking critically. On the view that people still in the cult is their own fault, that did upset me a little bit when we had that debate. And I hope that I came across with my point well there, because for those of you who missed the interview or the chat, he basically made the point that he's fed up of people talking negatively about Scientology who have been disaffected for years, and they've kind of carried on longer than they should have, and it's their own fault they're still in the Scientology 5 years after deciding they want to leave. And I took issue with that, because I kind of pointed out to him that, look, some people were raised in Scientology that never had a choice. Some people would love to leave, but they can't, because they have to choose between their family and everyone they know and love and Scientology. So some people decide to put up with it and carry on in Scientology even though they don't want to, because they don't want to lose their family and loved ones. And that's, a tough place to be in. And I think that when Robin was talking about his views on it, I don't think he was considering that perhaps as much as I think he'd like to. I think on reflection, he probably would answer that question differently next time. But I do hope to bring Robin on at some point soon on my channel to have a real debate and get into the nitty gritty that we didn't get into yesterday or the day before on Mark and Janice's channel. So yeah, great question. Thank you. SP Thompson, thank you for the super chat. Hey, from Vero Beach. I have no idea what that is. Just curious for you. When did the churches start morphing into the cult? Very interesting question. And that is a whole video in and of itself. I think that there is an argument there that Scientology has been a cult from the beginning, and it's scripted and written and shaped to be manipulative and controlling. But there's also an argument that it was unintentional and it's just ended up being that way. And look, we could be here for hours discussing that, and I do hope to delve into that further. So if you don't mind, SP Thompson, I need to think about that and digest that a little bit, and I will do a video on it soon. I'm just going to screenshot that so I don't forget. But great question, thank you. Okie dokie. Oh yeah, look, here we go. Mena is saying you, Janice and Mark push back well. Thank you. And that's the thing. We don't have enough debate on SPTV, I don't believe, with people who still believe or people who are still in. And that's a healthy thing. Scientology is a binary choice and a binary way of thinking. You're either with us or against us. Die in the attempt. That is the L. Ron Hubbard policy. So in this for a Scientologist, someone who's currently in the church, they're not going to speak out and discuss or interpret or debate the belief system because that's off policy. And I think that's harmful. I wish more Scientologists would come out and speak out about it, and we can have intellectual debates about it. Robin is a good in between where he's an independent, he kind of believes in what he believes in, but it was a really healthy debate. And look, we don't all have to agree with everything. We are going to disagree on things, but the fact that we can have a conversation about it and say, I agree with this, I don't agree with this, is fantastic. And that doesn't mean that we don't like each other and we can't be friends, right? And I think that healthy debate is only positive for everyone's recovery because it allows you to see different perspectives and points of view. And I would love to see more of that on SPTV, and I do want to encourage more of that, even with two people who believe the same thing in terms of they're both anti-Scientology and don't believe in it anymore. I would love to see more debate about what they do and don't agree with in terms of the policy or philosophy or theology, or whatever it might be. I think there should be more healthy debate, and that's something I hopefully will work on over the coming months. Matt's caustic comments. Thank you for your continued support. I really appreciate that. You certainly grabbed attention right off the top. Well, look, you've been a huge supporter of my channel all the whole time, and thank you. I really can't say it enough how much I appreciate this, and it really does blow my mind. Honestly, I feel like I'm a broken record, but I'm just shocked that that's where we're at. Miss Lester, if the IS tent venue was not at capacity or close to full, do you think COS would try to hire people extras to fill more seats? Yes, they have been known to do this before. I've never known that to be done during my time in Scientology. When I was there, it was genuinely just filled as much as they can. Even if it wasn't sold out, there were still thousands of Scientologists. If you are a Scientologist that is able to attend the IAS event in person, you are expected to attend the IAS event in person. If you live in Florida and have enough money for a flight, they will be asking why you didn't pay for a flight to go to the event in person. So there will be thousands of people there. And apparently I've heard from several people that they have paid for extras to fill in to make it look busy in the photographs. Look, I don't know whether they will do that this year or not, whether they'll have to or not, but it is something they have done in the past, apparently. Personally, I think that there's so much pressure and expectation on this event that it won't require extras. I think it's going to be one of the largest events in recent Scientology history, at least, and it's going to be really well attended, in my opinion. Okie dokie, guys, I'm going to start wrapping this up soon, so please get your comments and questions in. And there is one more thing I'm going to announce or do a giveaway type thing before we wrap up, so stay in there till the end. I've just got a few more to get through and then we'll do it. Born Ancient question: how much time do you have to answer emails, Alex? I have a niece from Croydon, London, UK, who has been missing since 1996. Can I email you and run her name by you, please? Yes. So I genuinely, and this is not a joke, get dozens of emails every single day. It is quite overwhelming at times. I am not the quickest at replying on emails simply because of the vast quantity of them, and I don't want you guys to feel like I'm ignoring you. So if you do email me, I do read every single one that I get. I may not reply to every single one, but please trust I do receive and read them, and I reply when I can to the ones that I need to reply to. So Born Out Ancient, look, in terms of your niece, if your niece is a Scientologist or a former Scientologist, I'm more than happy to help. I don't know what help I can offer. I don't know. I'm not an investigator or the police or anything like this. So I need a little bit more information. But look, if she is a Scientologist, you can give me a little bit of background, then yeah, of course, I will float the name around my contacts and see if it rings any bells. And I'm always happy to help. If it's not someone with a Scientology experience, I don't know how much help I can really be, but obviously I'm always happy to help and do my best to help you find your loved one. Jess Zanga. Alex, you're the best Scientology communicator for us never ends, in my opinion. I love the intelligent and thoughtful way you discuss things, and your interviews are pro level. Also, you're adorable. Well, thank you, Jess. That's really kind of you. I think the key thing that really rules my channel and my thinking is I'm not here to attack Scientology. You know, I'm doing the protest and I'm making my views very clear, and I'm taking action to try and stop the abuses that happen in Scientology. I'm action oriented. I'm not words oriented. So if I can do something that helps someone get out of Scientology or help someone understand what they've been through, I will do that. And as I said earlier, I'm really interested in the way the mind works and the way people think. And I will continue to speak to people from all walks of life with different experiences. And, you know, I'm just trying to help people who aren't in or have never been in Scientology to understand the mindset, because that's what interests me. How can someone go into Scientology knowing all the bad stuff that's said about it, to then join, to then become staff, it to become everything that of meaning in your life, and then to leave and to now be speaking out about it. I think that's a fascinating story. And what I want to understand is the way the mind works and why people that happens to people. And what I'm trying to do, because people think of Scientology as this crazy American wacky cult. You know, how could anyone join Scientology, or how could anyone agree with any part of Scientology? And what I really want to do is try and um, help people understand the way it works and the way a Scientologist thinks, so that it has a little bit more context for you guys. So, you know, Scientology, when you hear it in the press and all these bad things, yes, of course, it sounds horrible. And how could anyone join or be a part of that? And what I want people to understand is really just how deep it goes in your brain, because that's when you truly understand how harmful it is. Um, and I don't have the answer. It's an ongoing discussion, and that's what I want to try and do with my channel. Heidi Vert. Exactly, Alex. What happens if you have an aha moment? You're approaching 80, you're probably thinking, oh man, I am effed. I'm going to be honest, Heidi, I have no idea what that was in reference to, because I forgot. I'm sorry, but I probably agree because I starred it. So thank you for your comment, and sorry I was not any use in answering that. So, oh, here's a good one. Jane Solery. Question, Alex, have you seen Aaron's videos with Jason Havatic? I think a debate between you and Jason would be interesting. Yes. So Jason and I have been talking for months about trying to get together and do a video. We did have something planned, and then I had to cancel, and then the summer happened, and that's my busiest time of year, so it got rescheduled. I messaged him a few weeks ago saying, hey, I want to pick this up and I'd love to have you on the channel. And I can't remember if I think I've got a reply from him, but I haven't read it yet. But yes, it's in the works. Hopefully I can get him on, because look, I would love to debate. I think I understand the way Jason thinks and the reason he's trying to present the arguments he's presenting. And I understand it, I think. And I think that it would be really interesting to have a debate with him about his views and how to be as impartial as you can when it comes to Scientology. So trust me, it's in the works. Um, okay, so finally, we are going to wrap up here. But before you go, don't go anywhere. I've got something that's a little bit fun to announce. We are now at 10,000 subscribers. We have 10x'd it. 10x is a thing in Scientology. For those of you who don't know, that's why Grant Cardone has the 10x program. Now, I want to really have a big impact, and I'm making a decision to start focusing more of my life on the channel. The channel makes money through ad revenue and through coffees and all of this, but it's not substantial amounts of money, and I certainly don't ever want to. For me, I do this because I think it's the right thing to do, and I want to do this. I want to help people, and I feel like I can help people. But the thing that's getting in the way is I have to spend time doing other things to financially support myself, which means there's less time to focus on this project, because it's like a community thing, trying to help people. So I would love to get the channel to a place where it's earning enough money through ad revenue and so on, that I can then spend more time doing this work. So that's my goal over the next year or so, is to start getting more and more views and subscribers and ad revenue, therefore. And hopefully that means I can work less outside of YouTube and therefore spend more time doing this stuff. So, as a little bit of a fun one, because I know you guys love to support the channel with coffees, anybody that buys a coffee on the link in my description, buymeacoffee.com/apostate Alex, that's a way of supporting the channel. If you buy coffee for my channel between now and this time next week, so the end of the day British time, on Saturday the 21st of October, if you buy me a coffee in the next week, I will enter you into a draw and I will pick a random person from that to get a free piece of merch. Like we did earlier, anything from the store that you like, I'll give it to you for free, not a problem. All you have to do is buy me a coffee, supports the channel, and hopefully I can give you guys back something as well. If you're interested, that'd be fun. I also want to push the like, share, subscribe stuff. I want to really engage the community and get you guys involved. So if you leave a comment under the video after this is finished, not in the live chat, actually under the video, leave a comment. Doesn't matter what it is, anything. I will go through them again this time next week, 21st of October, and I'll pick a random person and you can have anything from my merch store. Or if you want a book that someone else has written, Blown for Good, by Mark Headley, Mike Rinder's book, perhaps Janice Gillum Grady's book, whatever it is, a book related to Scientology by one of the SPTV creators, I will get you that book that you want. I'll choose someone at random, or a piece of merch. It's up to you. So that's a way of getting the engagement and having you guys involved. Please let me know in the comments what you want to hear from me and see from me, ideas that you have for the channel. Thank you so much for supporting me on this journey. I cannot believe we got to 10,000 subscribers so quickly. And I can't wait to continue this journey. It really does blow my mind. And I will try and keep as engaged as possible on Twitter, on YouTube, the community tab, emails, and so on. And I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. The Scientology ship is sinking, and I want to be there and be a part of that journey, if I possibly can, of helping people escape and leave and jump ship before it goes down, and help people and prevent people from going through what I went through. I think a big driver for why I'm doing this, and I still haven't figured this out, and I'm going to talk more about this on my interview with Chris Shelton to mark the anniversary. But I think a big thing I've come to terms with is, like, I have started to realize more and more what I went through and the experience and the journey and what happened to me, which I've never really considered or thought about before. I've been doing a lot of thinking over the last year. And I think a big driver for me is I don't want anybody to go through that. And if I can stop someone, prevent someone from going through that, or if I can help someone who has been through that and help them recover, then I will. And that's why I've launched the Cause Over Life project. I've mentioned it quite a lot over the last few months. It's been in the works for 3 or 4 months now. In the next few months, you'll hear more about it. Causeoverlife.org is the website. Essentially, we're starting a non-profit organization. It's not in competition with the Aftermath Foundation. The Aftermath Foundation helps people escape and leave Scientology. Cause Over Life is a separate non-profit entity that I'm starting up. We have a board of directors that are all familiar to you guys, that are happy to help and experienced and knowledgeable. And the whole point is it's going to be a support hub. It's going to have support guides, a resource hub. It's going to be an online, free to access resource, sending people in different directions, books to read, videos to watch, things that have helped other people in their recovery that are free to access online. And hopefully we can help some other people. And then over time, we want to expand the charity, the non-profit, into being able to give back more to the community, providing peer support. Because when I came out of Scientology, or started realizing what I'd gone through a year ago, I just wanted to speak to someone who'd been through something similar. And that was really hard to find, especially when you have the turmoil in your head of thinking, I don't want to contact someone like Aaron Smith Levin because he's a suppressive person. He's an enemy of the church. He is someone that really, clearly doesn't like Scientology. And as much as I'm not disagreeing with that, I don't think I'm quite ready to speak to someone who is so clearly anti Scientology. So that was the process I went through of like finding the right person that I clicked with, that I was comfortable speaking with, and had an experience I could share with. So that's what I want to provide with Cause Over Life, to make it easier for people to access those resources, to link up with people, peer support group. Eventually, we want to be able to provide financial support as well for people going through mental health trauma. I want to help, families and friends affected by loved ones that are in Scientology and other coercive groups and religious trauma. So that's something I've been working on for a long time. We are working on the website at the moment. It is a huge resource and a huge project. But I think that is my calling. That is why I want to continue down this road, because I really want to help um, other people in their recovery journey. And look, if someone contacts us and they want help leaving, escaping, then I'll send them to the Aftermath Foundation. And I hope the Aftermath Foundation will send people our way if they need resources, for example. It's not in competition, it works together. And it's mostly going to be online, free to access stuff. And who knows who we can help. So that's the big project for me, that you guys know about, that's going to be happening over the next few months. And I will let you know when we're a non-profit and charity and so on. How funny would it be if we apply for charity status in the United Kingdom and we get it before Scientology do? I would love that. I think that'd be hilarious. So that's just a little personal goal of mine. I'm hoping to launch by the end of this year. It might run over into early next year, but that's what's happening. And as I said, there's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes you don't know about, that I really, really wish I could talk to you about. There's loads of really big things going on behind the scenes. And please trust that when I'm not sharing stuff with you, it is for good reason. And I'm working hard at this. Hopefully I can make it full time. But that's it for now from me, guys. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you for helping me get to 10,000 subscribers. I will keep doing more of this. I will listen to your feedback, and hopefully we can make this a channel that really fosters a sense of community, and is a place for people to discuss, engage, interact, and have healthy debate, and really look at what's important, which is people's own experiences. So that's it from now. 10,000 subscribers in 8 months. It's blown me away. Thank you.